Hello, everybody. My name is Michael Kovner. I'm the product manager for extensions at Tableau, and I'm extremely honored to introduce my favorite Zen Master, Merlijn. Now, a little bit of a background. 2 years ago, at TC17, we announced the Extensions API and Dashboard Extensions. And our hope, my team's hope, was that somebody out there in the community would take our API and build things like Write Back for our customers, custom viz types. And my personal hope was that somebody would build a game that you could play right inside of your dashboard. Well, we have been blown away that Merlijn himself has done all of those things and more with extensions. So if you want to learn from a true Tableau and extensions expert, you're in the right place. Please join me, I'm going to do my best, Merlijn. Please join me in welcoming Tableau Zen Master, Merlijn Buit.
Yes. Thank you all. Who is ready to see the power of the Extensions API? Right. So thank you all for joining my session. It is for me a great honor to be here on stage and talk to every one of you about my favorite topic, the Extensions API. And as Michael mentioned, my name is Merlijn Buit, not Merlijn Buit or something. But I will talk about my favorite topic, the Extensions API, and show everything about it to you. So welcome. Feel free to cheer today. Feel free to clap, to laugh, to throw your chair if you like it. I don't care. It's going to be a great session, and I want to show you first a disclaimer, because today we will have a lot of live demos, and Tableau will certainly crash. So please do not try this at home. Of course you should do it. So who likes to see a demo? All right. Every time you see this sheet, you have to wake up and pay attention, because this is the sheet where I will show a demo. Okay? So I will do it one more time. The sheet comes up. We're like going for a demo. So let me prepare my first demo. I have to change the screen. It's a bit of work. Sorry? It's Mario, right. Okay, so this is actually carpet sticky with sticky tape. I made it myself. This is a scatter plot, and it's built in Tableau. And as you can see, it has marks, which looks like Mario. There's a little Mario guy, there are some bushes, and there's a question mark. But it's not alive, so when I walk around, I can use a parameter, for example. But nothing is happening. The game is like dead. But when you add an extension to this game, the game comes alive, and this dashboard comes alive. So let's try it. Right now, I load the extension, and my mustache is coming up. And it should load. There it is. All right. I should get some music in a second from the guy behind. There he goes. All right, so this is Mario. It's still not moving, but when I use the arrow keys, I can walk around, actually. And when I walk back, Mario changes. Let me put up the mustache. And when I jump, I will jump, and I can hit collect a coin, for example. So I can go to the right, collect a coin, and as you can see, parameters update. There's a little coin right here. There's a score updating. And all these things are happening in the Tableau workbook and made possible by the Extensions API. So I can jump over the Goomba, of course, and just go on and finish the level. Pretty cool, right? Let's see if I died. Okay. Okay, that's it. Let me reset the permissions, cancel it out, and go back to the sheets. So the agenda for today. First, I will introduce myself. Then I will show you everything about the Extensions API, what it is and what you can do with it. I will talk about security. I will talk about why you should use the Extensions API. If you want to get started, I will give you tips on how to get started with the Extensions API. And I will show you something I built together with Klaus at the end, which is incredible. So stay tuned. First, a little introduction. I'm Merlijn. I'm from the Netherlands, and I'm 28 years old. As you can see in the top left graph, it's a beautiful line. And according to the internet, I should only live 45 years. I blended it to a data set, did some analysis. And in my life, I already worked 16% of different topics of my full life. And I have a girlfriend for 8 years now. You can see it right there. It's already 9 years, actually. It's also a stable line, which is good. Last year, I founded AppsforTableau, a platform where we share and build extensions. And to show I'm actually a person, not a robot, I also volunteer and give training to these little adorable kids. It's speed skating, and it's like giving Tableau training, but this is way more adorable. And you may know, but last Tuesday, I won the hackathon together with Tristan, and we built Easy Hooks, which is an application to add webhooks to your Tableau server without programming. And it will send messages to Slack, Microsoft Teams, and email if you publish a workbook or refresh a data source. So if you're interested in that, give me a call. Last year, Kisha showed a beautiful Sankey diagram on stage during her keynote. And this was for me a very, very big moment because this Sankey diagram you see is an extension we built. And she showed it with all the pride, like, this is really cool. And I have a question for you. Who built a Sankey diagram in Tableau before? Okay, a lot of people, cool. Who built it in a day? A few people, okay. Who built it in more than a day? A lot of people. Who built it in less than a minute? All right, shall I show you? There's the demo sheet. All right, let's do it. So I have a workbook here. It has a countdown. And what we need for an extension is a data sheet. We need some data on the dashboard. So what we do first is create a data sheet, add the extension, build the Sankey diagram, and we're done. Okay, so let me start the countdown. It's going right there. So what we do first is create a data sheet. We have to add some data to it and some session path length. Let's do path length. This is my data sheet. Looks like a beautiful Sankey, right? And add it to my dashboard. Add the extension to it. It's right here. I have all the time I need. Tableau demo files. Show me more. There you go. And I need to probably disable this for a second. Okay, so let's open it up. I'm connected to the internet, so it works. Let's grab the sheet. We see a lot of cool vistas we can build, but we go for the Sankey diagram. And we choose a few paths. We choose the measure we like. Hit apply, and we have a Sankey diagram already. I still have 6 seconds left. All the time I need. Let's add some more levels. As you can see, that also works. We can change the coloring. Let's color by dimension and by input. And we can do things like add the node width, change the vertical padding to make it even more cooler. We can do all kinds of stuff. This is my favorite extension. And as you can see, I have a Sankey diagram. And it has the tooltips, as you mentioned. It has tooltips. It's interactive. You can do filtering. You can do dashboard actions with it. So only 1 minute to build it. This is the power of extensions. And this is why I'm so excited about extensions. OK, so you're probably thinking, what is the Extensions API? And Michael here in the front always has a great quote, which I like to mention here. Extensions are custom dashboard zones that can interact with the rest of the dashboard via the Extensions API. Perfectly clear, right? Maybe not, so let me give you a few examples. You can do things like integrate with third-party APIs inside your dashboard. You can use third-party charting libraries like D3 or other. Kepler, for example, I saw a great one from Chris. You can do things like write back, modify data, and write back something to a different database, put it back in the dashboard. It's all possible with the Extensions API. You can track usage of filters, actions, and views of a dashboard. For example, the star schema Tableau usage tracker. You can do things like, there's another one. You can also do things like create a different export button on your viz to export the data to Excel, for example. You can do advanced filter options. You can do button filters. You can transform your data into clear written analytics, like this one from Automated Insights, and you can play games. It's all possible with the Extensions API. So I want to show you a demo again. And this is a write-back demo, and I built it for a company in the Netherlands, and they are managing the water system in the Netherlands, so all the drinking water, the tap water. And sometimes a sensor just goes offline, it don't work, has an hangover or something, and the data is missing, but it's generating millions of rows of data, and it's being aggregated to hourly level and daily level, so they only see it at the end of the pipeline when the data is missing. And what we do, we built an extension where they can adjust and correct the data, and the important part is that this data is being used to invoice the customers. So it has to be precise and good. And so also auditing is a really important part here. So let me show you. We have the dashboard. This is just a few lines of data. And as you can see right here, we have on 9 January 2019 a measure of 2,000. And on 2 January, we have a value of 16,000. And in between, there are zeros. So what we can do is click on something. And as you can see on the right, there's an extension. And we see on the bottom an audit trail. So we can see that someone already changed it from the old value of 13 to 0, probably me, to give a demo. And you can do things like change this little value. So for example, let's say this is whatever, something, measure. So it's a reason something, and we can change it to 2,500. And when I hit save, this is Dutch, you see it changes right here in the viz. So I've already changed the data. And I can click it, and I can see in the audit trail, right here, my change from 2 to 2,500. But it gets even better, because this customer doesn't want to fill in all those zeros. It wants to just, the extension, let it do for him. So what he can do is grab the values he likes, grab a starting point and an end point, and just hit the interpolate button, and all the values will be filled in for him. You can hit save, and bam, it's done. So if you would like to start with the Extensions API, you can do a few things. But you need Tableau 2018.2 or higher. You need to have Tableau Server 2018.2 or higher. You need Tableau, or you need Tableau Online. Tableau Reader is also working, but it's not working on Tableau Public yet. Okay, you can download extensions from the Tableau Extensions Gallery, and it's when you drag an extension on your dashboard, they are on the bottom left. You get a pop-up, and you can choose the Extensions Gallery. You go to this page, and you can download a lot of extensions right here already. And a great example is an extension I built last year, and it's called scrollytelling. It's in the gallery. You can download it. And what this extension is doing is changing the way you tell a story with Tableau. So on the left, you have text, and that's the extension. On the right, you have visualizations. Those are Tableau. And when you scroll through the text, the extensions update. And when you see something interesting, like a button, you can click it. It will change the viz. It will start animating, as you can see. And you just have a totally different story. And this is something senior management really likes, because you can give them more explanation on the dashboard. So Timothy is also in the room. I saw, thank you for the visualizations and the data and the text. This is his dashboard for the Iron Viz, so thank you for that. So 2 weeks ago, someone asked me, can Tableau do process mining? And who knows process mining as a thing? Not a lot of people. Okay, that's good. Let me explain to you. Process mining is an analytical discipline for discovering, monitoring, and improving real processes by extracting knowledge from event logs. Readily available in today's information systems, right? More clear? There's someone on the Tableau forums who is also asking about it, and I think this is something in the Netherlands which is really hot right now. But what it is if you have event data on a sales process or any process, maybe a supply chain process, you want to make it visible. You want to make visible if people are creating shortcuts, like skipping certain steps in your process and therefore doing illegal things, for example, if you're working at the government. And I made a demo for it. I want to show you. This extension is brand new. I finished it the day before I left, and it's right here. So what we have 82 cases, which are sales cases. This is actual data from a retail company in the Netherlands. And these cases have a mean duration time, which means the duration it takes to complete the sales process. And as you can see, we have some cases per week, like on the left here. You can see this area around April was pretty popular. They did a lot of cases. And in the middle, we have something we're not used to in Tableau. And that's the extension. It's a beautiful flow, and I will show you right now. And it starts somewhere at the top. And this is just built on really raw event data. And it starts at the top right here, and you see 82 cases go in. They start at initial activity, and then 74 go to validation, and 8 go to validation as a different step. And from there, they just go through the flow. And it's really interesting to see that certain paths are taken more. So, for example, this one is taken 5 times. I don't know why. And someone is going from auto-flow to manual matching. And the cool thing is, we have Tableau, and we like to have interactive dashboards, right? So what we can do is we can just click the one, and we can filter the Tableau dashboard to show which case is doing this shortcut. We can also click on things like the notes, thank you, and see which cases are in those notes. So we can add any data we like. So we can add, for example, the people who were responsible for it. We can do all kinds of measures you like. You can do whatever you like with this. And I built another view, so I have a parameter here. It's a Tableau parameter. I can click on I can change it to mean duration. As you can see, the extension updates, and we get a totally different view. So now we're not looking at numbers, actual counts. We're looking at the mean duration per activity and per flow line. And as you can see, we have a bottle line in our process. And this is actual data, so they really have a bottle line right here. It's dark red, which means it's not good. So for example, this one is taking 31 seconds. We have one taking 5.7 minutes. And this one is taking 11 days. So let's click it. And we can see which cases are responsible for it. And we can take action on it. And we can improve our process and make our customers more happy. And that's the power of process mining in Tableau, available. I think when I come home, put it in the Tableau extensions gallery, and then you can all play with it. So what does an extension look like? You've probably, if you worked with extensions before, you've probably seen these little files. They call T-Rexes, T-Rex files. And a lot of people think that these are the extensions. But when we look inside this file, we see some XML. And in the XML, we see the configuration, the properties of the extension. And the most important part is highlighted. It's the URL, which is pointing to the actual extension. And this extension is somewhere on a server, in the cloud, maybe on-premise at your machines. But it's a little web application. It's running somewhere. It has to be running somewhere. And so there are two, and number 3 is coming. It's not officially announced, I think. There are 2 ways of working with extension. The first one are cloud extensions, as we call them. You have a Tableau server. You drag an extension on your dashboard. And you create a connection with a cloud machine, a web server, where the extension is running. You download the extension to your computer. It's all JavaScript, so your computer will download it, and it will run locally on your computer. There are extensions which need an internet connection because they do some kind of processing, for example, on the machines. like a text generation extension. But most of the extensions will just run on the computer only. There's no data transferring. But if you're still worried about security, you can go on-premise, of course. You can download the extension. You can ask, of course, the developer of the extension. You can download the extension, install it on-premise behind your firewall, and then you are sure that there will be no internet connection going out, no data going out. So there are two options right here. So I'll show you. I have an extension right here. It's called Super Tables, and it's a table with superpowers. We can do all kinds of cool stuff. And this one is running in the cloud. And as you can see, there's a lot of data in this extension, so it looks like all the data is being pushed to a server somewhere. But it's not true. This is all run locally. And as you can see, when I reset the permissions, the URL to the extension is extensions.appsfortableau.com/login/something, whatever, a long URL. And if we reload it, we get an extension. But we can also do it locally on our own server. So I have the extension right here. This is the actual extension, as you can see. And I'm running it through a little web server on my computer. And it's running on, as you can see, right here. Oh, I have to maybe, it's running right here, localhost 8000. So that's a local machine. And when I add the extension to my dashboard, so let's grab an extension, put it on my dashboard somewhere, maybe here. Go to my extensions folder, go to this one, and this is in development 8000. It's just one of my extensions. And as you can see, the extension's URL is http localhost 8000. When I hit OK, oh, there's something else running on that machine. Sorry. Let me try to stop it for a second and do it one more time. So one of my other demos is also running already. There he goes. There's the extension, and it's just running locally, as I can show you right here. Localhost, so no internet connection anymore. It's all on my computer. And if you like, you can also do it on the computer somewhere else in your environment behind the firewall. OK? All right. So, are extensions secure? This is the question we get the most. And I always say extensions are as evil and insecure. Oh, so people say extensions are evil and insecure, right? They're like little evils in your dashboard, pumping out the data and doing all kinds of stuff you don't want. And I say, you're right. Extensions are as evil and scary as unknown attachments from unknown emails. You don't open them anyway, right? You don't open a weird PDF from a weird company. So, I have some tips for secure extensions. And if you follow these tips, extensions are great and really secure. The first one is trust the extension developer. There are a lot of good extension developers out there which you can just fully trust. You can use on-premise extensions, of course. You can install them behind your firewall, and you don't have to worry about data being leaked out. Tableau is creating something new called sandboxed extensions. What that means is that Tableau is hosting the extensions as a provider, and they added CSP headers. I won't go into that today, but they added a lot of security, which makes sure that there will be no available internet connection outside the extension machine from Tableau and your computer. So to give a little bit of an example, you have the Tableau extension machine right here. You have your computer right here. There's an internet connection between those, and there's no outside connection possible. So if you want to include an image from the web, for example, it's not possible. Data cannot be leaked out. So this is also a good option. If you add an extension to your dashboard, always make sure to check the URL. So for example, in the bottom below, you see it's Show Me More, built by Merlijn. You don't trust that guy, of course. And the URL is extensions.appsfortableau.com/showmemorefree. So you can just check it and see if it matches what you expect. Also make sure everything is HTTPS. There's also a HTTPS in the link, so that's good. I think Tableau is actually requiring it. Good. And when you're on Tableau server, you can disable extensions and you can also block extensions, but you can also whitelist extensions which you allow, which you trust. So you can just by default disable all extensions, and if you see the show me more, you think, okay, that's a good extension, you can whitelist that one, and that will be the only extension running on your Tableau server. You can do it right here in the extension settings on your Tableau server. You can also change the default behavior for extensions, so just what I mentioned right here on Tableau server, you can do it in the default settings, and you can do it on site-specific level. Well, why should you use extensions? Why should I use extensions? And for me, that's a pretty clear question. This is Tableau. It's a toolbox. It has a lot of cool, good tools. You can use a hammer to create vizzes. You can use a saw to cut off the bar charts. I don't know. Do anything you like. But there's also a lot missing. I don't see an electrical screwdriver or something. I only see these tools. And this is the reason why I got into the APIs. Because with these APIs, I have a completely new toolbox. And it has all these new drawers I can take out and I can play with, like the REST API, the Extensions API, the JavaScript API, the Metadata API, and even the brand new Webhooks API. It's incredible to play with, and you have all these new possibilities right in your hand, and you can do incredibly cool things. For example, annotate on marks. So people like to add annotations in the dashboard, and you have a few options in Tableau. You can annotate by using the annotation in a Tableau desktop. But then the annotation will be attached to that mark, and if you change data, it will stay attached, and it's annoying. You can also use the comments functionality on Tableau server, but that's on dashboard level, and it gets really clouded really easily and really fast. So what you would like to do is add a comment to a specific data mark, and that mark, when it changes, the comments will also be changed. So for example, what you see here in the GIF, left and right, is I have 3 comments right now. I can click a comment, and as you can see, it will be it's highlighting the province in the Netherlands, where the comment belongs to. And I can also click on a province, and it will filter out the comments which belong to that province. So it's two-way communication. And I will show you. So this is my dashboard. It's a map with the states in the USA. There are some sales and some sales provided data. And what I can see right here are there are already 2 comments. And I can, for example, click on this one, and it highlights Texas. So this comment is about Texas. I can go back. I can click on the other one, and this one is highlighting Ohio. And this is just done through the Extensions API. So we're attaching comments to data marks in my dashboard, and I only need an extension. I need a little bit of configuration, and these comments are stored in a separate database of your liking. So if you would like to store them somewhere on the MySQL database, a SQL database, Oracle, they're stored right there. What we can do is click on a state and hit New. And we can do a title, like for example, this one was Wyoming. Wyoming question. And I can add a comment. And currently I didn't connect to a Tableau server, but I could also assign this comment to a specific person. Like I need you to look at this. So let's give it a medium priority and no action required. And when I save the comment, it's being saved to my machine, and you're paying good attention. I stopped that server. Yes, let me quit this one. They're running both on the same port, so that's a bit of a problem. There he goes. It's there in the database. So I added the comment to the database, and it's added to this mark. So as you can see, when I click the mark, the comment is being filtered. And when I click on the comment, the mark is being highlighted. So two-way communication, all possible with the Extensions API. If you would like to get started with building your own extensions, I have a few tips. The first tip is go to tableau.github.io/extensions-API. This is the place where you can get all the starting tips for extensions, like the reference guide, you have the samples from the community, we have the release notes, there's also the UX design guidelines, and these are really great to create beautiful extensions. It's the Tableau UI. This is the place to go to if you want to get started. But it's still, if you're there, you're like, how do I program an extension? So I have a few tips, really small tips to get started and build your own little extension. First one, sign up for the Tableau developer program. Tableau has a great program for all the developers working with APIs, and it's called the Tableau developer program. And you get lots of benefits. There are sprints, weekly meetups where you can see the latest features, interact with the developers. All the APIs are here available. We have the community forums. We have GitHub where you can ask questions. This is the place to start. Secondly, what I always advise is if you're a beginner, don't start with a framework like React or Vue or Angular or something else. Just go plain JavaScript. Open index.html and just type really simple JavaScript. If you start with a framework, you have already this level of complexity, and if you want to build an extension on top of it, it can become pretty complex at the start. So just start with plain, simple file. And what I did 2 years ago, what Michael told, is go to the extensions GitHub, download one of the examples, and there was a little hello world button, and I just clicked the button, something happened, and I thought, okay, let me change it. And then I did something like, when I click the button, I want to filter on region, north, for example. Okay, that works, cool. I want to do a parameter action. I want to do a highlight on the map. And slowly, I learned how the extensions API is working and what you can do with it. And slowly build show me more, for example. Really important, make sure you have point 4, make sure you have that page open. This is the page where all the methods you can use are available and described. So for example, this is if you want to do something with filtering, you can just type filter and it shows you a few methods. You can use the apply filter async, you use the clear filter, you can use all kinds of things, and it's written down how you use it. So it's good to have always open. And also make sure to read it properly to make sure to know how it works. And lastly, if you want to make the extension look like Tableau, you can use the Tableau UI. It's a package built by Tableau, and it gives you all the elements like buttons, which are used to in Tableau, the green and red buttons. It gives you all the elements, like the input fields, and they look the same like Tableau UI, so the Tableau UI. So your extensions will look like they're from Tableau, which is good. Okay, a few tools I use. So if you would like to start programming, you could use these tools too. For programming, I use Visual Studio Code, and I have some extensions in Visual Studio Code, which makes programming really easy. For example, ESLint and Prettier are formatting tools. So if you just type code and you do not indent the code properly, you just hit save, and it will format it all for you. You don't have to worry about it. I use Material Theme to make it look nerdy and black. That's always good. And if you're doing something with Vue, you can use Feature. Really important is to start with code versioning. And we use Bitbucket for it, but you can also use GitHub. You can use any code versioning you like. And this is important because if you push your updates to a machine in the cloud, you can always go back to every change you did in time. So if you screw up and just deleted something, you can just go to GitHub, go to one of these changes you did yesterday or the day before, go to that change and revert your code, and you will not lose anything. So this is really important. Also, if you want to work together with other people in extensions. The languages I use are JavaScript, of course, and we now mainly build extensions with React, and we also build them with Vue, but we are doing React only right now. Of course, HTML. And if you want to do something with a backend, like the annotations extension, you need some kind of server, which is pushing the comments to a database. We use Node and PHP. Handy tools to have are Yarn and Webpack. If you have Yarn installed, you can do things like yarn add, and then you can install the Tableau UI package, for example, and it will just add it to your project. And who's using Internet Explorer 11? Nobody? You're awesome. But if you have people which are using Internet Explorer 11 or other old browsers, you need Babel and polyfill. Babel is reference to the Tower of Babel from the Bible, and what it is doing is making sure that if you write code, that it's being compatible with all different browsers. So we'll just compile it for you, and if you used a function which is not available in Internet Explorer 11, which are like all functions, it will compile it back to code from the 90s, which Internet Explorer 11 will understand, and it will also work for these people. Okay, so that's important if you build extensions and let them use with a lot of people. And now the moment you've all been waiting for, of course. Together with Klaus, I've built a game in Tableau. And I want to introduce it to you right now. I have a really dramatic video. And normally the lights should go out, but it's not possible in this room, so okay. I will just show it like this. So was that dramatic? Okay, cool. So what do we have? Klaus and I built a fully functional multiplayer game in Tableau desktop, which is fun. What can you do? You can create your own character. You can explore a beautiful data village online, a virtual data village. You can interact with the level by clicking on certain things. You can visit the Fizz gallery, and you can vote for your favorite fizzes. You can chat with your friends in one of the rooms, like the Zen Master area or the Tableau server area. You can vote for your favorite community project. You can be a DJ in the silent disco. And you can do many more. And this is my character. And I will show you right now. But first, anyone who has a laptop, please come with me, join me in the game right now, and let's crash this dashboard. You can go to appsfortableau.com/data-village, open the workbook in Tableau 2019.2, create a character, hit the play button, and allow the extension, and have fun. All right, let's show you. So this is our starting dashboard, and it is using the latest features from Tableau. So first we have to enter our name, which is Merlijn, or Merlijn. We can pick a Tableau letter, and this is using parameter actions. So when I click the Z for Zen Master, we can see it updates my character. We can also do ambassador or Twitter celebrity, anything you like. We can pick our favorite color, like blue, for example. We can go to the data night out activity. What do I like? Dancing? No. Drinks? No. Listening to music? Singing, of course. That's why my voice is a little bit gone. So let's go for singing. And how many times did you visit the Tableau conferences? It's more than 3 times. And as you can see, the parameters update, my character update, and I can enter the data village. It will load up. And I will enable the extension. And I should be able to join the game. It takes a few seconds. All right, it's loading up. Welcome to the Data Village Online, the best place to meet Tableau friends and have fun. And I can use my arrow keys, just like Mario, to walk around. As you can see, I'm walking around. I do not, oh, there's also someone else coming online, I see. Yo, Merlijn, killing it. Michael Kovner. So I can type, hello, Kovner. So Kovner, join me in the silent disco, please. Let's go in. And as you can see, when I enter the silent disco, music starts to play. And we can dance. So when I walk to the left, Michael is also coming. You can see these little music, so the little play icons. And I want to ask Michael to click on one of those and hear what the music is doing. He's trying. Okay. Yeah, you can click the yellow, like these ones, right here. The 4 or some 1. Oh, okay. I can click them also. So the music changes when you click it. And if Michael should click one of the notes, the music should change on my computer. So what we are doing is we have a live disco with live. There he goes. Nice. Okay, so we can interact all online multiplayer. So let's go back to the gallery and vote for one of our favorite topics. So you're probably thinking, what the heck is happening here? And I will show you in a second. Jay is connecting, Hope is connecting. Very cool. Oh, there we are. So what we can do is see all these cool visits, and we can rise the Boris Becker, for example, click them, and you hear a little sound, and now we're voting for those visits. And we can also go to the link and open that workbook in our browser. So if we see a cool viz, you can just open it right here, and there it is. So let me close it, okay. And there are all kinds of different rooms. So there's a server room where you can vote for your favorite Tableau server version. And there are little chairs where you can sit and talk to people. And as you can see on the left, we have live graphs. And these live graphs are updating every second, a few seconds. For example, this one with the attendees is updating. There are 10 people in the Viz gallery. There's 1 person in the silent disco. Good for you. And there are other people in the 0 people in prep, server, and Zen area. And below you see the live graphs where people are voting for stuff, and these live graphs are rotating. So you see that it rotates every few seconds. We have the server versions here, nobody voted for it yet. So different things are happening, and a lot is going on in this workbook. So how does it work? We are using Socket.io, and Socket.io is a JavaScript framework, a web application, and you can create real-time web applications with it. So basically, there's a machine somewhere in the cloud in Azure, and that machine is listening to all the people in the disco, silent disco, or in the game, pushing messages to that machine. And the machine is collecting them all, creating a really long parameter for Tableau, and sending that parameter back to everyone. So for example, if I walk up, I will do a message to the server, like I'm walking up. The server collects it, says, okay, you're now on position X, Y, 1, 1, for example. You're walking up, so let me add 1 to Y, so you're on 1, 2. Add it to your properties on the server, and then just create one big Tableau parameter, send it back to Tableau, and you will see me walking. That's actually what's happening. And maybe when people walk around, I can actually show you the parameter. We have a little bit of time, so that's fine. It's the players. It's right here. Let me try to. So these are all the people, and as you can see, it is changing a bit. Every 1.5 seconds, it is changing when people walk. So right here, you see -12, -20, 15. So, and all this data is being split back into actual data in the dashboard. So, okay. It's funny, crazy. And there are 2 layers. There's the layers on the back, which are the polygons, and that's the level. So and we made sure that you can't click on the level, because that's not what you want. You only want to click on things which are actually clickable. So that's the second layer. It's a transparent layer. And I think that's it. We can chat, we can do all kinds of things. So if you would like to know how I did it, if you would like to know more about it, you can visit me, you can talk to me, and I will show you the codes, but I won't do it today. All right? So that was the last demo. want to say a big, big, big thank you for all coming to my session and joining me in my road with extensions. We have a booth where you can see all the extensions live, where you can also play with the data village, play with Mario, play with all the extensions. It's 229, it's right behind the blueprint bar. It's all purple, so you will not miss it. And if you like the session, please complete the survey in the mobile app and give me a like or a dislike, give me feedback. And I want to say thank you for coming and have a great conference. So we still have time for questions, so if you have a question, you can, there's someone with a mic, I think. Oh, there he is. So we can do some questions.
Well, this is a question both for you and for you. How do we get extensions onto Tableau public? And who do we pressure at Tableau to get that to happen?
We're working on it.
Okay. Any other question?
On a related matter, so I understand that the extensions have a new capability this year, which is a sandbox. Is that going to have any future impact to the community gallery extensions?
Yes. I can show you, actually. So when we go to the extensions gallery, this is Tableau extensions or extensions gallery. The extensions gallery is updated. And right now you see versions 2018.2 through 2019.3, which are all these extensions. And when you hit the drop down and say 2019.4 or later, it will reload, I guess. Oh, there it is. Yeah. And what you can see right now is, for example, here, these are extensions with this little icon right here, which are sandboxed. So there are a few already, super tables, scrollytelling, and they are already built for sandbox. Took me a lot of time to do it, but it's until this one. And from there, these are all extensions not ready for sandboxing. But you can find the extensions in the gallery with the little slot icon. Okay?
I have a question about Sankey diagrams. So in the newer method of building them, not the original sigmoid method, I have noticed when publishing the book to like online, the hover functionality doesn't work quite right. The cursor won't change to the finger pointing.
Okay.
It sticks as the arrow for the entire dashboard. And I was wondering if your extension does or does not have that problem, if you've seen that.
It could be probably something with the iframe. If you're like selecting something in the iframe and then not having the active state on the dashboard anymore. We could have a look. I don't know. It should not be like that. We could have a look later. Sure.
So, I have a question.
Where? Oh, there it is.
Right here.
Sorry.
Yeah. Sorry. So, in all of your demos, we see that you are enabling everything on the fly, like locally as it's opened. Is that something that is just for the demo, or can we eliminate that? Is that something that the user has to do?
You mean the local host?
Yeah, like when you're clicking enable.
So on desktop, you always have to enable extensions. When you add them to the dashboard, you have to press the OK or cancel button to enable it. On server, you can hide that prompt. So when you whitelist it, you can say, just run the extension, no pop-up.
That's great to know. Thank you.
It's off.
Hi.
Hello.
Okay. I have a question. So it's really exciting, and I'm wondering, how does it work with, do we purchase the extensions, or is there a subscription for extensions, or how does it work for a person versus a company?
Okay, good question.
One user or multiple users?
It depends on the developer of the extension. So there are a lot of extensions which are fully free. The extensions, for example, the super tables and show me more extension are the ones we built, and we maintain them weekly. We update them every week, and they are paid. You have to pay for them because to be able to get the updates. So those are on a subscription level, but there are a lot of extensions also free in the gallery, and you can download free trials. But it depends on the developer of the extensions. There are different models. So it's actually everything. Free, freemium, premium.
Hey, I was just going to see, could you tell us a little bit about your process, about why you make specific applications? So why those? Like, is there a problem you encounter that you're like, oh, okay, this is a solution? Or just talk maybe a little bit about the process that you go through to determine why certain applications.
Sure, good question. So, for example, the Show Me More extension is a extension. What I saw online were big blogs about how you could create a Sankey diagram or a radar chart. Those blogs were like 10 pages. Oh, I don't know. Like, you need to take 2 hours to be able to understand it and build a Sankey diagram. And for me, that was the main reason to think, okay, we should be able to make that more easy. Let's build an extension. So that's one. Just look at the internet. The other one is, for example, Super Tables is an extension we built for a customer, which said, I need a table more dynamic in Tableau with more features. Can you build it? And we said, sure, we can build it, but we also want to deploy it worldwide so everyone can be able to profit from it. So that's the other one. And the things like scrollytelling are just the ideas on my head, like, that could be cool. I watch the news and you get these cool interactive news stories with visitors popping up. We should be able to do it in Tableau. And I just start typing, create a prototype, and the thing I always do is, also with process mining, I create a prototype in a few hours, put it on LinkedIn and Twitter, and if people are going crazy for it, I know, okay, I have to build it. And if people are, okay, looks fine, I will put it back on the backlog. Yeah, so that's, yeah.
Hi. On the write-back functionality, you mentioned a couple of databases. Is it really any database will work with it, or is there a limitation?
For the annotations?
The write-back.
As long as the web, Node, or PHP has a driver for the database, you can do whatever database you like, yeah. So it depends on the database, how do you say, the database driver company, if they have a driver for it.
Yeah.
But most companies have, so SQL, Oracle, they all have. But yeah.
And like Access or Excel also, or no?
Excel, no, I don't think so.
Okay.
No, I don't, maybe. And Access, probably, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah.
You had mentioned easy hooks, I think, in the beginning, and it sounded really cool. Can you talk a little bit more about that? Is that like an extension, or?
It's not an extension. I can actually show it to you, if you like. This is our hackathon project, so let me show you. Woo! I did not know I could show it. So I have to start it up quickly. Where is it? So that's to start up, boot up. There he goes. Okay, so this is easy hooks. So what we built essentially is Tableau-enabled webhooks, but there's no UI for adding webhooks or deleting webhooks on your computer. So we thought, that's a cool hackathon project. Let's build a UI. People don't want to program, so we want to do it for them. So we can input our Tableau server, which is Tableau Online for example. We can go to a Tableau. I have to log in fast quickly. Maybe it's 10x. We can grab a site, for example, this one. We can type in a username and a password, and we can log into the Tableau server. I hope I logged in. And we can, from here, we can add a hook. So let's say call this one add workbook, and we can put in a handle URL, which is the place where the webhook is pushing the information to, which is in our case Zapier. And we can choose one of the hooks you would like to add. and add it to the server. And that's how the application is working. And from there, all these messages, so what we did in the hackathon is we connected it to Zapier. And from Zapier, we just pushed the message to Slack, to Microsoft Teams, to email. And you could do all kinds of cool stuff from Zapier back to other applications. Okay? So we will publish this application shortly on the web, but I will need some more development to make it secure. All right? Thank you.
What data visualization libraries are you using for the Show Me More feature?
D3.
D3?
It's all D3. Yeah, currently, yeah. A lot of good questions.
Do you get to trademark? Hi, back over this way.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
Yeah, no worries. Do you get to trademark your extensions? So some of the things that you've built are incredible, and I'm sure Tableau looks at what you have and says, hey, that would probably be something to roll out to the entire community. And to that same point, there's other developers out there as well looking for similar solutions.
So the answer is we do not trademark. That's a good question. I don't know if you can trademark it, but I'm sure if Tableau wants to build it in their application, they'll give me a call and just buy me. I don't. But yeah, and other developers, the API community is pretty small, and we know each other. So if you're building the same extension, that's not really appreciated. We don't do it. So the extensions Chris DiMartini is building, for example, he's also a Zen Master. I'm not doing the same things. That's just basic friendliness. Currently, that's because the community is small. But if you want to build something internally for your own company, you can just do it. Yeah.
And I'll say, coming from Tableau, every time I try to build a really cool extension myself, Merlijn does it before I reveal it to the world and does it 10 times better than I did. So it goes both ways.
Okay.
Is it possible to dynamically enable and disable extensions based off of the user that's accessing the dashboard? So for example, if you have one dashboard where you're using the write back functionality and you have super users and base users and you only want the super users to be able to edit the data but only have one version of that dashboard, how do you dynamically control that based off of who's accessing it?
Yeah, that's possible. So what you can do is you can retrieve the username in the extensions API through the data sheet, and you can, for example, look up to a database and ask, is this a super user, yes or no? Okay, and I will give you the extension. And if it's just a normal user, you will look in the database, or this is a normal user, he can't see it. Server, so the backend is pushing a message back, like this user can't see the extension, and I will just show a white screen or a message or something. So that's definitely possible. Okay, that's it. Thank you.